mi hermosa mariposa, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Georgia Bruin and my channel is called Georgia Beauty. I decided to make a YouTube channel because I found in Australia there's not a lot of YouTubers who I can go to, who I look up, who help me find products that are in Australia, because it's very different to products in America. So that's one reason that I'm deciding to make a YouTube channel, and also because I just love doing makeup and I'd love to share what I've learned and what I can offer. As you probably, you heard at the start, I'm trying to learn Spanish. My nana was Spanish and she recently passed away, and so I'm trying to learn that as well, to sort of get my roots back into that culture. And so if you speak Spanish, let me know, and I would love to learn some new things. I'm trying really hard. I'm sorry if I mispronounced any of that, but it will be my intro because in respect of my beautiful nana. And without further ado, we are going to start this video, and this first video on my channel will be a review of, let me just get it out, the L'Oreal Infallible 24Hour Fresh Wear Foundation. And for shade, I'm a 130. And I've heard a lot of hype about this product and I'm very excited to try it. There will be an 8-hour wear test as I've got to go to work, I've got to do things. It's getting hot, it's in Australia, I'm going to be sweating, so it's going to be a very good test to see how good this foundation is. And so, yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. Alright, so I've washed my face, I'm moisturised and all ready for primer. Today I will be using the Barry M Beauty Elixir. I've used this a couple times before. I haven't really seen the biggest difference in the long wear of the foundation when I do use it, but it's really nice, it smells really nice. The only downside about it that I've found is the packaging, and I don't know whether it's just in Australia because sometimes we get dodgy stuff, but it's kind of doesn't really, it's a dropper but it doesn't really drop, so I just rub it on my face. So let me just find a mirror. So if you're in Australia, you can get this from Big W. Usually it's around $20 something. I got it for $10.17 from Big W. This was when it was on sale, which I suggest you do wait till it's on sale. It's always the best when it's on sale, because, you know, save your money. And then I'm just gonna rub it in. Now moving on to the foundation, and like I said at the start, we're testing the Infallible 24-Hour Fresh Wear L'Oreal foundation. Now there was a lot of hype about this and I'm very excited to try it. I have worn it once before and it was very nice. I didn't really test it though, so we're definitely going to put that to the test. And so it comes in a pump, which is great, clean, and it does oxidize. This foundation does oxidize, so if you try it on in a store, so finally testers are coming back into Priceline, you can swatch it, but just make sure that you test it on your neck, but then also wait a little bit. Don't just be like, oh yeah, it's my shade, okay, take it, because it does change color a tiny bit, even though it says that it's new oxygen technology and it's not supposed to oxidize. So today I think I will just be using my sponge. I got this sponge from Real Techniques. It came in with a bunch of other sponges. They came with 2 little eye sponges, which are like this, and then it came with a diamond sponge and then another type of applicator, but this one is definitely my favorite. It's just foundation sponge. So I'm just going to dot it on my face and then we will see how this goes because of this tiny mirror. Okay, so just dotting all over the face. It's quite runny, as you can see, and it does look quite light at first. Just wait, it'll blend out and it'll look great. So, lid and sponge. Alright, so as you can see, it's applied really lovely. It's left a little bit of like a satiny finish. So it's not quite matte. Oh, I got an eyelash. Make a wish. Oh, and for reference, my skin type is, I get a tiny bit oily in my T-zone, especially around summer. In winter, I'm quite dry. Yeah, so as you can see, it's also like, it's blended nice with my neck. It's actually looks like it's gone up a shade. And because I have got dry skin, I don't usually put a whole bunch of concealer under my eyes, just because even when I prime, even when I moisturize, it still ends up looking cracky and cakey and makes me look a bit old and just like emphasizes my lines. So I just bring the tiniest little bit of foundation up under. So I just bring it the tiniest bit up, and then I'll conceal in the places that I need to. So that's it for the application of the foundation. It feels really nice, feels really lightweight on the skin, doesn't even really feel like I have it on. And so got a smell. It's got a tiny bit of a smell, like the smallest amount, but it doesn't bother me. It's not harsh or anything else, and it doesn't smell like some foundations can, especially from like Priceline and stuff like that. They can have a very like strong chemical-y smell, but it's very nice. So tick on that box. Okay, and now moving on to concealer. For concealer today, I will be using the Maybelline Instant Age Root Rind Eraser. And the shade that I'll be using is 120 Light. I'm just going to apply it to my chin. The places, you can probably see this is a bit lighter, like I wouldn't use it for my full face. I just use it for the places that I want to highlight and conceal. And so I just put little bits. So now I'm just taking the sponge that I showed you before from the set, which, I mean, they come in all different colours separate as well if you wanted to get just the like eye sponges or just the foundation sponge, and that's just the Real Techniques. And I'm just patting it in. And then for the inner corner, just using the other end of the sponge, and it can get right into the corner of your eye. And I don't, like I said before, I don't bring my concealer right here because of the lines that it creates on my skin. Let me know also if you have similar skin to me and yours like always defines your lines and makes it look old. Let me know if you have any suggestions of how I could do my under eyes so that they don't show up like that. So yeah, so that's my concealer. I might actually, yeah, I'll put on, yeah. So I always also put concealer on my eyelids. I don't really have like a primer on my eyelids. I just use my one that I use for foundation. But the thing that I've found, so there were some technical difficulties, if I can speak. So basically all I did as I finished up was I used the powder, I don't know whether I showed you, I think it was the Maybelline Fit Me powder, and I just dabbed a bit and I set my eyes like that. And then for my eyebrows, I just used the Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim. That has a spoolie and it's a little retractable pencil. And then I used for brow gel Mcobeauty, and it's called More Brows, and I used medium dark. And this you can get from Woolworths for $7. It is so good. Like, it sticks your eyebrows in place. It has so much pigment, it can add to them. One thing I will say is be light-handed. Make sure that when you open it, you rub it off like that. Hopefully in a future video, I'll show you properly how I did my brows. And with this one, it's so good. I couldn't even believe it. One of my friends showed it to me, well, suggested it to me. Shout out to Charlize if she's watching. And it is the best brow gel. Before this, I had an Urban Decay brow gel, and that was great. I did really like it, but this, it does the exact same job, and it's beautiful, and it really sticks them in place. And I really like this one. So give it a try if you haven't tried yet. So next thing, well, actually, I'll show you my brows first. Even though you didn't get to see me do them because of stupid iPhone storage. The next thing we have to do is bronze. And I've actually got a new bronze to test out today. It's by L'Oreal Paris, and it's the Wild Bronze Glow. Girls, Priceline is having all of L'Oreal products half price, so get in there. Get the foundation, get the bronzer, get whatever you want to try because it's half price. And let's face it, L'Oreal is one of the more expensive brands in Priceline, so half price is great. Now, if I can open it, we're gonna give it a try. And for my bronzing brush, I'm just going to use the Real Techniques blush brush, which I really like. I use it for blush, I use it for bronzer. So yeah. Give me a sec, I'll open this and then come back. Alrighty, so I've got it open now, and it's really beautiful. I actually did test this out. I don't know whether you can see that. I did have a look at it in the store, and it does look like pretty shiny, pretty nice. It has a little bit of a smell. I'm deciding whether I like it or not. It's like a sweeter smell. And for shade reference, I got the 01. But yeah, Wild Bronze Glow, Terra, whatever it's called. So let's do this. So I'm just taking my brush, I'm just dabbing a bit, just swirling, and then I'm taking my brush, tapping the excess off. And we're gonna go in with the cheeks first. So we're just gonna, yeah, it's pretty nice. Pretty happy with that. So bronzing is used to give your face some colour, because obviously, which you've probably been staring at me being like, oh my god, she looks like a ghost, she just looks so colourless. So we use it to bring colour back to our faces, give us a gorgeous bronzy glow, and I just use it on my cheeks, and then I take it up to my forehead as well, just because, as you can see, the line between really dark hair and then my foundation is kind of a bit not that impressive. So you just, okay, so I think that is it for bronzer. As you can see, it's brought more colour to my face. It's a little bit glowy. I love bronzers that have sparkle in them, because who doesn't want sparkles? And so the next thing after bronze is we usually contour. And so I have got, actually, it's pretty old and pretty used, but I always stick to it. It is SmashBox Contour Palette Definition. So as you can see, oh, how sad is the lighter shade. It's just so sad. I do really like using it. I go in with another Real Techniques thing. If you can't tell, I like Real Techniques. This is their Real Techniques 004. This is it's quite soft. It's not super dense. I usually prefer more dense brushes for contour, but this is still lovely. It's one of their, I think it was one of their limited edition brushes. It's really pretty, and it's got the little blue on the end. So I just tap a bit of bronze, because it's a bit darker than this bronzer. And just tap a bit like that. And then just tap off the excess, because bronzer like especially this SmashBox bronzer is quite like dark, and so you don't want to look like you've got mud on your cheeks. So you always tap off the excess, and then you start from the outside, and I just tap it and press it in like that, and then blend it like that. So just tap, and contour is meant to bring shape to your face. So if you don't know where to go, you just suck in your cheeks and go along that line. So I just add a tiny little bit just to shape. So the next thing I'm going to do is just take the tiniest bit of this darkest shade here, and this one you do not want all over your face because then you'll end up looking like a vampire with very sucked in cheeks. And so you just add the tiniest bit. I just add the tiniest little brush here and then blend. So there you go. Alright, now I'm just about done contour. I'm just going to add a little bit on my forehead in my hairline, and just down the sides, and then you can also add a bit of contour under your chin to define your jawline. Alright, and that's about it for contour and bronzer. Now moving on to blush. I have one of STILA's, what do they call them? Convertible colours. So they say that they can use it for like lips, you can use it for your eyes, you can use it for cheeks. I just use it for my cheeks, and I'm not sure what colour it is. I'm really sorry because there's nothing here to tell you, or to tell me, but it is like more of like a peachy sort of colour, well, more on the pink side. So I'm getting ready, and I'm just gonna take my Real Techniques brush, which I'll just dust off by doing that on my arm, and I'll just dip. I take this one and I just go like this, and as you can see it has it on it, and then I just wipe a little bit off because see that excess sort of colour, we don't want all of that on our cheeks because we don't want to look like a clown. And so we just dab the tiniest little bit. I always put it on the apple of my cheeks and then bring it up, pat it in there, beautiful. And I also take a little bit and I just brush it on my nose, the tiniest bit, for like sort of more of like a sun-kissed sort of look. Oops, and that's taken off a bit of concealer. Oh well, that's okay. We won't look at that. So yeah, just apples of cheeks. And I might just add the tiniest bit on my nose with actually just my finger. Just because, as I showed you before, it sort of came off when I used the brush. So just a little bit. Okay, and then next thing, I have sort of done it a little bit back and front. Usually I do my eyes first, but because I wanted to show you my base, I've just completely done that. I'll show you a bit of highlight. And now if you get into my channel and you like it, you will hear about Revolution a lot. Revolution is a great pharmacy / drugstore products. They produce so beautiful like eyeshadows, lipsticks, everything. They're just gorgeous. And so I have the cheek kit, and so it has that one like that. They're all shimmers, and so I just will highlight. I just take the same brush that I use for contour, obviously dust it off, just on my arm. My arm always needs cleaning after I do makeup. And I take just, what will I do today? I'll take this top left corner here, and I'll just dab it in like that. Then tap off the excess, and then go on the tops of my cheeks like this. past it. I don't know whether you can see that. It is gorgeous. It is such a gorgeous shimmer. The whole palette is beautiful. And then I just add the tiniest little bit under my brow bones. And then sometimes a tiny little bit on my chin too. And that just gives you a real nice glow. Really shiny, beautiful. And you can use as much or as little as you like. I love highlighter. Like I said, I really like sparkles, so it's brilliant for me. I love it. And I always do this anyway, but before I go and do my eyes, I always set my entire face with a setting spray. Today I'm going to be using the Maybelline New York Lasting Fix setting spray. Looks like that. It's a tap, has a spray. The one negative that I have from this spray, because I have found that it does help my foundation last longer. The one negative is that the spritzer sometimes can let out like those little little things where it's like it shows up a bit droppy on your face, which is like, it still looks nice and you just pat them out. It's my dad on my moped trying to fix it. Yeah, so you just pat them out. There he goes again. Alright, so you just hold it back, close your eyes, and just give it a good spritz. And I always fan, I look like a crazy person, but I always fan like that. I wish I had a fan. That would be great. It'd be great to have a fan to do this with. Yeah, so I just wave it until it's dry, and I'm just going to check, because like I said, that it does leave little dots, and I'll just pat out the little dots like that. That's basically the look. I'm going to go and do my eyes, and then I will come back for a final look before we begin the testing of the foundation. So there you go, that's the final look. And the foundation is looking really beautiful. It's still really lovely. It rubbed off on my nose, which I did mention before when I added the blush, but I'm not going to worry about that. I just think I was being a bit too rough. And so there you go. Now I'm going to go about my day and come back at around, what time? Sorry, I had to do a bit of math. So right now it is, well, it's a little bit later because it took me a while to do math, but it's 10:30. And at around 6:30, I'll come back and give you my full review on how the foundation went, show you how it looks, and that will be around an 8-hour wear time. So yeah, see you then. And I'm back. It is now 7 o'clock, well 7:01. So it's been about 8.5 hours, and this is how the foundation has held up. To be honest, I cannot see that much difference. The only thing that I've noticed is on the chin it has rubbed off the tiniest little bit, but everywhere else still looks almost like I've just applied it. The only thing that I retouched was my lips, obviously because eating and all of that gets rubbed off. But everything else I just left how it is, and so I'm very impressed. It is the most beautiful foundation, and it has lasted so long in Queensland weather, which is getting pretty humid. So I'm very impressed, and I'm very happy with how it looks. I will definitely be using this one again. So yeah. If you liked this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. Let me know as well if there's anything that you'd like me to review, anything that you'd like me to test, especially Australians, any Australian brands that you can't get any reviews on. Let me know and I will try to get my hands on it. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day or night or morning. Adios.